look up for Jacob Lavovitz. He needs to put the ball in the net for Virginia Tech to have a chance, Richard.
They have to look to him. He's got almost half the goals that Tech scored this year. He's just got a knack for putting the ball away. He's can be inconspicuous for 80-some minutes, but he can get a game-winning goal just about any time. I think he has 3 overtime winners in his career.
And this ultra-talented Pitt lineup, Jay Vinovich going with a 4-3-3. We talked about Bertrand Jacquesson and just his ability to score from anywhere on the pitch.
Well, he can score on free kicks as he did in the game previously with Virginia Tech. He's very fast, very elusive, and he combines very effectively with Valentin Noel up top.
So the stage is set here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. What a great crowd on hand at Ambrose Urbanic Field. Sievert Hadley hoping to stay on the pitch for a lot longer than those 23 minutes. He'll make a huge impact in this match. Just 60 degrees in early November.
Fala pessoal, começando o jogo aqui. Peguei, estava no início já mostrando as escalações. Então, brasileiros em campo, no momento, a gente tem o Júnior, zagueiro da Virginia Tech, e o Guilherme para Pitt. Eu estava até conversando antes do jogo com o Rodrigo, que, enfim, emprestou acesso para a gente transmitir. Quem acompanhou na partida passada, ele teve uma lesão na posterior e ainda não recuperou. Provavelmente para o próximo jogo ele volte. E o Valentin Noel, que era o número 8, que também tinha machucado, até aparentemente mais grave, recuperou e voltou. Então hoje o Rodrigo está lá no banco acompanhando, mas não deve jogar. O Rodrigo, que é o atual artilheiro da Pitt. Então ele está até sendo preservado para uma possível semifinal, mesmo não sendo um jogo para preservar, porque isso é mata-mata. Quem ganhar classifica, quem perder está eliminado. Não tem vantagem de empate, nada disso. Fechado? Então vou deixar rodando a transmissão. Qualquer coisa que for acontecendo, eu volto. Me avisem se o áudio da transmissão também tá bom. Enfim, valeu para todo mundo, bom domingo e vamos seguir acompanhando o jogo.
In the midfield.
Mike Brizendine telling us that Haugley's really played the 6 the last 2 years. He recently moved back to center back, and he is excellent in that position in the defensive midfield.
People probably are wondering why he's able to play in this game. He sat out the Boston College game. Pitt has not had any other games since they played Tech, but Tech had that one against Boston College. And as a result, Haugley sat out one. He's able to play today.
The Panthers are number 4 RPI in the country, first in the ACC. In the latest reveal by the selection committee of the top 16 seeds in the country, Pitt was number 8, Virginia Tech number 12. So you're looking at 2 teams that could host a long time in the NCAA tournament. Just what Jay Vinovich
already I like what
program.
I see out here, Alex. The Pitt getting the ball on the ground, knocking it around. They're a very skillful team. They like to develop a rhythm, as most of Jay Vinovich's teams do. And when they can get that rhythm, they're really tough to beat.
Especially here at home on this turf.
The turf's a real advantage. I think they're the only, maybe one. Does Boston College have turf? I'm not sure, but very few ACC teams do, and it's a great home field advantage for Pitt against other ACC teams and anybody who comes in here.
Little pull down there by Walty. That's going to result in our first foul of the day.
And that man, Walty's very hard, very eager. He supplies a lot of energy. He is the sole captain for Jay's team. He's like an extension of Coach Vinovich on the field.
Walty making his 72nd start. And the first opportunity for the goalkeeper for Pittsburgh, Nico Campufano. 5th-year player out of Spain. He transferred in from the University of Portland and has been such an important part of this Pittsburgh team.
He's up for every game, and he just has the grit, the attitude that you want in a leader.
Switch the field out now. It's Rafael Crivillo. Play it back for Guilherme Feitosa. Pittsburgh can lull you to sleep with their pinpoint passing, and then they can turn on you on a dime and completely change a possession.
See what an effective possession team they are. They like to keep that ball and stretch the defense.
So how does Virginia Tech combat that here, Richard?
Well, I noticed they're not really going after Pittsburgh as they did in the first game. I think Mike Brizardine wants the team to sit back in, defend, not give any cheap goals, not give any cheap fouls, and that's going to be the strategy, at least in the beginning.
Sent in, and there's the first goal for the Panthers. Valentin Noel, the reigning ACC Offensive Player of the Year.
Well, we talked about the strategy. The best way to beat that strategy players sitting in is get a goal like that. Valentin Noel just right on the end of that ball, and not really much that Ben Martino could do. Here's the ball playing in by Noel. Played back. And it's Noel going on the end of it. That was Jacobson who played the first ball in. Gets back to Noel. Great volley. May have skimmed off Hagley's leg. It's 1-0 Pittsburgh.
Noel, a player that's been dealing with a foot injury this year and actually left the previous matchup against Virginia Tech with a nerve issue in his knee. They have been rehabbing.
Não deu nem muito tempo de eu falar um pouco sobre a partida. Ia falar sobre o recorde das duas universidades que está muito próximo, mas Valentin Noel, que foi o que eu tinha apontado, é um dos destaques da Pitt junto com o Rodrigo. Ano passado ele chegou na final como o melhor atleta do college, do McHerman Trophy, então é um cara muito, muito importante para esse time da Pitt e voltou de lesão do jogo passado. Como eu falei, a história do jogo passado não era tão normal, Virginia Tech teve um expulso no início do jogo, um gol cedo, mas agora também tomaram um gol cedo, então a estratégia da Virginia, que realmente é defender e sair no contra-ataque, tá caindo de novo. Vamos ver como que eles vão reagir. Até o Júnior agora sofreu essa falta, enfim, recuperou a bola e depois sofreu a falta. E é isso, vamos ver como que vai seguir a partida agora, a Virginia tendo que sair um pouco mais.
Sitting back and thinking about the goal he scored, he's gone out there and try to get more. And sometimes you score too easily, too early, and that may be the case for Pitt today. They can't take their foot off the throttle.
And when Pitt gets that first goal, they are just so difficult, unbeaten this year. 9 wins to just 1 draw. Here's Virginia Tech serving it up over the top. This is Pugh. Connor Pugh, the sophomore from Dublin, little back flip, but nobody's home, and that will head out over the end line, watched out by Jasper Loffelsen, the reigning ACC Defensive Player of the Year. I mean, you just look at this team.
E o que eu ia falar é justamente isso. Hoje, a Pitt é a número 6 do país e a Virginia Tech é número 8. As duas equipes estão com 10 vitórias e 4 derrotas, então estão realmente totalmente iguais nesse quesito. Pitt tem 1 empate e Virginia Tech teve 3 empates, então Virginia Tech jogou mais que a Pitt nos jogos fora de conferência. Então é um confronto muito parelho, só que, de novo, a estratégia da Virginia é segurar atrás e tentar achar algum gol, assim que eles fizeram com o Marshall, e tomando um gol com 4 minutos acaba com essa estratégia. Então vamos ver como que vai ser a partir de agora.
Loffelsen sends the cross in, just a little bit tall, punched away by Ben Martino, the terrific freshman keeper for Virginia Tech, who has taken over in his first year in goal.
That was an interesting play. The ball was headed back by Joyce to Martino, and he could have picked that ball up out of I believe this is it. That Joyce heads the ball back. Martino could have caught that ball, actually. He didn't have to punch it, but maybe it's from the pressure put on him by the opposition.
Yeah, definitely put his keeper in a bit of a predicament right there for Ben Martino.
If that ball's headed back, you can catch it if you're the goalie, and I'm not sure that Martino realized that Joyce had headed the ball back to him just to get it secured in his hands.
These are trips he definitely looks forward to. A Pittsburgh native who trained with the Philadelphia Union Academy. Mike Brizendine said that he deserved all ACC honors.
No time like the present to show him. He can't afford to give up any more goals to a really explosive Pittsburgh team.
And so 8 minutes gone here in half number one, and already the number one seed, Pittsburgh, on top 1-0. And welcome to Pittsburgh. 1-0 already. The top-seeded Panthers on top of Virginia Tech here at Ambrose Bannock Field. Second of 4 quarterfinal matches all day here on ACC Network. So glad that you could be along with us. Here's Virginia Tech's first real opportunity, and it's finished. Kyle Mcdowell equalizes for the Hokies, and we're tied.
Well, how about that? What a response by Virginia Tech. They didn't sit back and say, we got to keep it 1-0. We're going out to play. And it was that man we talked about, Jacob Lavovich, who created the whole thing. He didn't score, but he came down. He found Mcdowell at the top of the box. This is really well done. Lavovich gets behind the defense, and instead of shooting from a bad angle, he lays that ball back, and it's McDowell finishing with his lethal left foot. Tech is back 1-1.
And that has to feel good for Virginia Tech's head coach in his 13th year, Mike Brizendine, to see the equalizer so soon, too. Only 4 minutes
1-1, como
after
eu falei,
Valentin
não vai ser
Noel
aquele
started
jogo
the scoring.
fácil entre aspas, como
Scored
foi
so
o
quickly.
último
Even get to
jogo.
tell you,
Playoff é mata-mata,
Richard, who we
Virginia
are,
Tech
Alex
jogando 11
Perlman,
contra
former
11, então
George Mason head
em um
coach, Richard
contra-ataque,
brought
o cara
along with you.
escorregou ali
So
no
glad
lateral
you could make
esquerdo,
this
né?
a
O
part of
atacante
your
foi inteligente, deixou a
Sunday
bola
afternoon
passar.
into early
A grama
evening.
tá molhada, mostrei até no story da Team Brazucas, que é um campo sintético, mas eles molham também.
For those
Um
of you
campo
that
sintético até
watched the
para
first
raspa de
quarterfinal
corpo
of the
expandir
the day
pouco
here
mais.
on ACC
E
Network,
não sei se foi por causa
taking
disso,
down Wake
chuteira,
Forest
enfim.
and moving on. It
Escorregou,
has been all
o cara
chalk
saiu na
so
cara do gol,
far
rolou para
in
trás
the
e
ACC
o
tournament.
ponta
Here's
esquerdo
Jasper
fez por
Loffelsen.
ali, ó, outra bola tirada do Júnior.
Loffelsen, the reigning
Sempre
ACC
peça
Defensive
importantíssima
Player
na
of the
zaga
Year.
da Virginia Tech.
And someone that
Então é
Pitt
isso, 1-1,
will look
jogo
to
acabando empatado,
get someone on the
prorrogação,
end of his
overtime, só
terrific
que agora, como a
crosses
gente
from
está
the
falando
right
de
side.
mata-mata,
7
se
assists on the
continuar
season, second in the
empatado
ACC.
no mata-mata, tem pênaltis depois. Então
Defend,
vamos
that's
ver
for
como
sure,
vai
but he also
ser
adds an awful lot to the
o
attack.
desenrolar dessa
That
partida.
side and getting in crosses.
Richard Phillison, what have we seen so far?
Oh, I'm very impressed with Tech, battling right back in after they gave up a goal. They stay playing and they try to play the ball.
Fala, Leonardo, foi o que eu falei no início da partida. Na Virginia Tech tem o Júnior, zagueiro, número 5, capitão, e em Pitt tem 2 brasileiros, o Guilherme, o número 7, que está jogando, e o Rodrigo, número 11, que machucou na última partida e hoje não vai jogar. Então tem brasileiro dos 2 lados.
That one hits the referee, and Nikola Alexic will stop play. Here's how we got the scoring started. Valentin Noel, look at this finish.
It's a great one-touch finish. No time for anybody to get on the end of that. Great goal by Noel. Tech's got one of its own. Lavovich comes in, doesn't take the shot, plays it out. McDowell's at the top of the box and finishes it to tie the score.
And so much more action than we saw just 9 days ago when Pitt took the field against Virginia Tech right here as well in Pittsburgh. That's going to roll all the way back to the goalkeeper, Nico Campufano, for the Panthers. But it was a very different story. It was 0-0, Richard, just 9 days ago up until the 23rd minute. The terrific center back, now holding midfielder today, Sievert Haugley for Virginia Tech, rips down Rodrigo Almeida just outside the box. It's a red card. He's sent off. Hokies down to 10 men. The ensuing free kick put in. And then that was really all that they needed. A couple minutes later, the second, and in the end, a 4-1 defeat at the hands of the Panthers.
Very impressive. This man, McDowell, will come forward and get a goal and get Tech.
Importante ficar claro isso também, galera. Não tem jogo de ida e volta. Playoffs de conferências é sempre um jogo, quem ganhar classifica. É aquele mata-mata bem direto mesmo. Então é só essa partida, quem ganhar classifica, quem perder tá eliminado do torneio.
Like Lavovich, who leads the team. In black. And for the second time, it hits the referee. You don't see that very often at all. And he says, play on. And now a free kick. I think Virginia Tech's wondering why the game wasn't stopped when it hit the official.
Yeah, that's an example of what Lovelson does. He gets forward into the attack. He's a very good defender, can attack as well, and he makes this run and he gets taken down by Junior right there at the top of the box.
Wasn't a lot of contact there either, and now a free kick in a very dangerous spot coming up for Pittsburgh and Guilherme Feitosa, the freshman from Rio de Janeiro in Brazil.
A little surprised that this is almost the same spot that Jacobson scored on in the first game, and now it's going to be Feitosa who's playing in the center of the midfield today.
Feitosa will send it into the middle right by the penalty spot. Headed back. That deflected off of Labovitz. Play back to Ben Martino, the freshman keeper. We knew we were set up for a better game than we saw a couple of Fridays ago, and it has turned out that way.
Sure has, really. Tech is not going to fold over and die, and that's important that they get that goal and get right back in the game.
Here's a turn from Bailey. Recently, this series has been dominated by Pitt, 3-0 against Virginia Tech over the last 2 years. Absolutely, Jay Vinovich has changed this Panthers program. A perennial doormat before he came in 6 years ago. Now they're back-to-back ACC Coastal Division champions.
They were exactly that. They were a team that playing Pitt, you're going to get a win. Now you're in for a battle. And Pittsburgh was in the running for the national championship last year. I think they'll be in the running again this year.
Coming back from the College Cup, a lot of contact there, but no call. Just ran into a buzzsaw in Indiana and fell 1-0 in the College Cup semis. Trying to better that this year. Labovitz in, but the flag is up.
It was a little bit offside. You saw how quickly he released that ball when he shot. And that's a dangerous one. Went right to the goal. He wouldn't have counted anyway, but Labovitz is just a poacher. He'll look for that opportunity, and an amazingly quick release and an awfully hard shot.
Talk about how important number 18 in black is for Virginia Tech. He scored 5 of Tech's 11 goals in ACC play, almost half of them coming from Jacob Labovitz.
And it's nice you have a goal scorer can also assist on plays as well, setting up his teammates as Labovitz did today.
Here's Arturo Ordonez. That an ambitious strike, to say the least.
One of the keys today for Pitt is how they approach the attacking third. Do they just play balls in and hope somebody will be on the end of them, or is it with a purpose? And that's going to be important to play a well-organized defense like Pitt, like Tech.
Here's Connor Pugh getting out wide. And Jay Vinovich, a 6-time ACC Coach of the Year. That includes 5 at Wake Forest before he came here to Pitt. Spent some time as well as the head coach of the Timbers USL team back in 2015.
He is a soccer junkie, and he's trained under some of the best soccer people in the entire game. He was under Walt Chisowicz, the legendary national team coach. And he took over when Walt passed away, and he's been at Wake and then now down at Pittsburgh. He's been a success everywhere.
Flurry dealt with by the Virginia Tech back line. They're employing a 4-1-4-1, holding midfield occupied by Sievert Haugley, who moves over from center back. And Haugley completely changes the team. And when he wasn't in there, they were different. Last 67 minutes, he was gone last time that these two teams played. Set up perfectly now for Pitt. And a whistle.
Maybe Bailey was offside on that, trying to sneak in behind the defense.
Our referee today, Nikola Alexic. A packed house here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And not
Great
just the
atmosphere.
bleachers, It's all the way around the pitch as well on that concrete that is surrounding the field. And another whistle will keep it with Virginia Tech under head coach Mike Brizendine, 13th season. 5 straight NCAA tournament appearances for Briz, the only ones under coach. Talk about a turnaround story. He has one in Plattsburgh as well.
His first few years, he wasn't very successful, but the last couple, they've been 5 out of 6 in the NCAA tournament. Mike Brizendine was an excellent player himself at James Madison under Tom Martin. Got good training there. Came in as an assistant to Oliver Weiss, and then took over after Oliver Weiss departed. He's been here for about 15 or more seasons, and he loves it in Blacksburg, and he's built a nice program here. Has a good fortune of working with Pat McSorley, who was his teammate in several situations, and they're like best of friends, and it's a good working combination.
Trying to unlock this Pittsburgh defense that's only given up 17 so far. There's Labovitz. Oh, what a save! Campufano up to the challenge, and they'll need him to be against a guy like Labovitz.
Well, that's what he mentioned. He's so quick in getting off the shot. I don't think Campusano really expected him to hit that ball that quickly and with that power. Labovitz is very dangerous. That quick release is going to test Campusano if they provide more chances for him. Looking at here, it doesn't even look like he might get it off, but he does and almost finds the far post. Really fine save by Campusano, and the defense struggling to get it out of there. Boy, low to the far post. Great effort by Labovitz. Campusano, a little bit of panic after he did make that save, but they managed to get it clear. Tech is probably providing more than enough firepower to test the Panthers today.
Yeah, this is a very different match than we saw 9 days ago, as the whistle gives it back to the Pittsburgh Panthers.
And Labovitz, he walks around like it's a burden sometimes. He doesn't want to run and doesn't make the extra step, but boy, when he gets in that final third, he's as lethal as anybody.
Pittsburgh is so difficult to beat here at home as well. 18 straight wins. That is the second longest win streak in the country at home, just behind New Hampshire.
As we said before, they're one of the few teams that has an artificial field, and it's a big advantage, especially in the ACC, with so many of its opponents playing on grass. There's an example of this. 12 games with 3 or more goals. That's impressive.
Absolutely dominant and a very difficult place for anybody to play. That's what Mike Brizendine was telling us. You know, he's excited to see Pitt again, but this might be the toughest place to play in the ACC, if not the entire country, as we have our first corner of the match. This one going to Virginia Tech.
This is where Tech is dangerous on restarts. They're a good restart team. They've got 6'6" Kai and Haugley coming forward. Labovitz can get his head on the ball as well as strike it with his foot.
8 of their 33 goals scored this year have come on headers. That did not challenge anything, though. And Pitt looks to counter.
Aí o Douglas tinha falado, realmente, na Pitt ainda tem outro brasileiro. Eu tava até tentando ver aqui estatísticas, mas apareceu que ele não tinha jogado ainda nessa temporada. Aí o Luiz deve ser parente dele, alguma coisa assim. E deixou mais claro, ele teve a contusão, então não jogou essa temporada. E para quem não entende do esporte universitário, quando você machuca na temporada ou não joga um número X de jogos, você pode ser red shirt, que aí não vai ser descontada essa temporada na sua elegibilidade. Então, provavelmente é o caso do Lucas, e aí na temporada que vem ele volta e pode jogar normalmente. Então, acredito que tenha sido isso. Partida continua realmente no que a gente imaginava, Pitt atacando e a Virgínia saindo nesses contra-ataques, que estão sendo perigosos, mas um jogo aberto. Realmente vai ser decidido um lance ou outro que alguém consiga escapar. Pitt tentando tabela pelo meio e a Virgínia na bola vertical direta até o Júnior tirou essa daí, bonito, e ligou lá na frente. Então, é um jogo horizontal de Pittsburgh, tentando tocar a bola, tentando infiltrar, e Virginia Tech vertical, tentando explorar o contra-ataque. Tá bem bem legal de ver. Aí o Júnior apareceu de novo na tela.
Kyle Mcdowell, who has the goal for Virginia Tech, standing over the ball. As Campufano barks out instructions from inside the Pittsburgh goal. And just barely over the head of Connor Pugh. He was streaking in, trying to put that one anywhere on frame.
Connor Pugh I might have got a whisker of that, not enough to be a threat, but you can't leave players alone. And Mike Brizendine wants to put pressure on Pittsburgh and make them defend. He doesn't think that everybody on their team is likely to want to do that. They're an offensive-oriented side. Defense could be a problem. So Virginia Tech wants to keep the pressure on them.
Martino has to come all the way out to dive and snare that one.
Good work by Martino as we look again at this ball being centered in by McDowell. Pugh doesn't quite get it. Boy, he was really close and got a free run into that far post area. Nice play by Martino, coming well off the line to deny any chances for the opponents.
Goals scored 4 minutes apart, 5th minute for Noel for Pittsburgh with the opener, and then McDowell equalized in the 9th.
You like to think that many goals, there's 2 goals scored early, you'll have a wide open, high scoring game. But sometimes these games just settle in and nobody else scores for a while or even until overtime.
Yeah, that's what we're seeing at the moment. Chances on both sides, but both keepers have made some great saves as well, as Flores is called for that one. Freshman who doesn't play like a freshman, according to Mike Brizendine, number 23 in black. At this point in the season, though, you're really not a freshman.
No, you're not.
Virginia Tech's played 18 games.
Flores as your seasoned player.
Oh, what another beautiful save by Martino. I mean, Pittsburgh just threatens you from well outside the 18-yard box. Noel can put it on a pin, and you've got to make some great saves to beat a team like the Panthers.
Noel showing his quality, hit that ball, and it was deflected over the top by Martino. Excellent save. Once again, he just gets a little bit of it, misdirects it to this over the net, and it'll be a corner.
Jacquesson. Low corner in this time. Walty. Settled by Ordonez. Back out it goes to Crivillo. And throw in now for the Panthers. And you have to watch out for the long throw as well from this area. Instead, they go short. Right back it goes to the left foot of Crivillo. Now Feitosa. Our next All Access, the ACC Live, premieres tomorrow. Features Boston College field hockey, Florida State women's soccer, and Wake Forest men's soccer. You'll get unprecedented access into the lives of the student athletes, coaches, staff, parents, and fans. That's an all-inclusive look. 7 p.m. Eastern right here on ACC Network and the ESPN app. One app, one tap. One of those teams just finished out a run in an ACC championship of their own. That was Florida State women taking down Virginia, a team that was looking to pull a potential upset. I'd say that's a very evenly matched game, except Florida State with just all of that talent. Midfielder of the year in Jalen Howell for the 2nd straight season. Also the defensive player of the year in Emily Madrill. It's like Lennon was the one taken down there holding his leg.
On that? I think it was.
No, Flores, that's right, yep.
Battling in here, Flores comes in and it's really sort of waylaid. Very obvious foul committed that time by Abdelnadi.
Abdelnadi with a yellow card. transferred in after starting 30 games for Notre Dame, but from time to time has struggled in that area with that individual 1v1 defense.
He's a good player, but he's had some inconsistency this year. They need him to be at the top of his game. They're going to go somewhere in the NCAA tournament.
Back to the center it goes to Pugh. He can be dangerous from there. Instead sends it wide now. Kyle Mcdowell. Centered in, headed on, and over the bar, but that's going to result in Virginia Tech's second corner.
Kyle McDowell really getting into the attack more than you would think. He's primarily a defensive specialist. He has a long throw. He hasn't been able to show it thus far. This is Blacklock taking the corner.
Easily dealt with there by Pittsburgh. We mentioned that this turf creates a real home field advantage, especially since 2 seasons ago when it was put in a new FIFA-approved surface as Jay Vinovich supervised that, which makes a big difference. Water just like grass. He loves the way that it rolls and skips the ball, kind of acting just like natural surface. And Richard, even when we talked with Mike Brizendine in the lead-up, said, I love playing on this turf. I think it's awesome.
Yeah, it's really, really excellent surface to play on. It fits the style that Jay Vinovich tries to teach you. That's possession, quick, lethal attacks. And he had the same style with players at Wake Forest. And he's just done a remarkable job at both places.
A lot of room now for Jacques Casson. Dancing Noel. Sees a double team. Resets. Clipped in on the run by Jacques Casson. And so that earns the corner for the Panthers. And just a very different team when you leave Ambrose Urbanic Field. And that's the interesting thing. You know Jay Vinovich wants to be in front of this crowd on this pitch as long as possible in the ACC tournament and in the NCAA. They could do it all the way to College Cup if they get a 1 seed.
They've got to keep winning, and that's going to be the formula.
Right into the hands of Ben Martino. An imposing presence there as Ordonez couldn't sneak it past. Martino standing in there at 6'6", 200.
This is a well-taken corner. It's a well-headed ball this time. Right there by Ordonez, but right back at Ben Martino.
Half an hour in, we are still level. Right where we started, except a goal in per side. Noel for Pittsburgh in the 5th minute, and Mcdowell equalized in the 9th. Both teams have really settled into this match, though, Richard, as you mentioned.
Yeah, I think that getting that goal back so quickly gave Tech a lot of confidence, and they're playing that way, and they're putting pressure on the defense of Pittsburgh. Mike Brizendine, just so much at home in the Blacksburg area, and he's just turned everything around, as you pointed out previously, Alex. They just, first 5 or 6 seasons, they struggled to win. Last 5 or so, they get 10 wins almost every year and almost guaranteed it.
They've made 9 in program history. Last came in 2020 for the Hokies. So obviously last season, 4 in a row. Even in that strange COVID year where everything was shaken up, they were still able to find success, as was Pitt. They were the top seed in the ACC North last year. They kind of switched it up, the divisions, making it a little bit more geographic-centric with being tougher to travel. But this year back to the coastal, the Atlantic, and taking a look now at the NCAA tournament in the last 5 years for Virginia Tech. You see that they have struggled to get past that 3rd round the last few years. Getting around one more time now, Jacques Casson just wide.
Golden opportunity for Jacques Casson. He plays that ball to the outside of his foot. I don't think he had to. He could have tapped it in with the inside. I think he thought there was more pressure from the goalie, but this is a really, really great effort.
Looked like he had the entire goal available to him here.
Played it with the outside of his right foot, and he is a right-footed player. That's a really good chance denied by Martino. Again, looking at that again, and wow, what an effort to get through. That was Feitosa who's playing the attacking midfield. Set up Jackson very, very well, but he needs to put the inside of his foot, inside of his left.
Jogadaça do Guilherme, número 7, o brasileiro. Tocou para esse número 10, mas ele destro tentou jogar com o lado de fora do pé. Talvez tivesse ido de esquerda, teria ido mais seguro, mas de novo, boa oportunidade. E o Guilherme estava conversando com o Rodrigo também. Ele é brasileiro, nasceu no Rio de Janeiro, mas ele morou muito tempo na França, jogou em equipes de base da França, então ele tem essa certa identificação com a França também, mas ele nasceu no Brasil. Guilherme Feitosa, número 7.
And both these teams have done this, and that resulted in goals. Labovitz getting behind the defense, playing one back. It was finished by Mcdowell, and then same thing, one was finished earlier by Valentin Noel. Both came from balls at the byline, played back, and that's a good ball for a forward to take because he's running into the ball and it's running away from the defense.
There's that long throw in one more time. Push back to the top. Flores. Jacquesson. Breaking lines. Almost taken, but it'll be a whistle anyway, and this might be a yellow coming up here for Virginia Tech. Yes, it is. Haugley goes in the book, and remember, he's the one that drew the red card last time out.
Yeah, and this is a foul. This is just going to be a yellow, a caution for Haugley, but it's going to change the way he plays. He can't be nearly as aggressive with carrying a card.
Deu uma certa travada agora, mas os comentaristas estavam falando. Esse zagueiro que fez a falta, tomou amarelo, foi o mesmo que foi expulso na partida passada. Então, vamos ver se ele vai dar uma segurada na onda, porque aquela expulsão praticamente definiu o jogo para Pitt. Vamos ver, aí tá voltando a transmissão de uma certa travadinha, mas vai seguir normal.
No, it's not ideal. It's not what you get off the bus and say, hey, I think I'm going to get a card today. We'll see how Haugley plays, if that affects him all that much. Walty, too heavy a touch, looking on the byline for the run.
Walty gives you a lot of energy. He's a hard worker, plays mostly the defensive midfield, but he can get forward.
And Haugley will check out for a quick breather here. Andrew Weber coming in, the senior from Earlysville, Virginia.
He's a hard worker. He gives you a lot of grit in the defensive end.
O treinador não deixou nem ter essa dúvida no ar, já sacou ele, porque de novo, ele foi o jogador expulso na partida passada. Já trocou o zagueiro, mas pode ser que ele dando uma acalmada, uma segurada, ele pode voltar no segundo tempo. Lembrando da regra de substituição que você sai, pode voltar, não é bagunçado sair entra toda hora, mas no segundo tempo ele pode voltar.
Haugley was not available for the first round game for Virginia Tech over Boston College, and I'm sure Mike Brizendine was just excited to see them get through, to see Haugley back out on this pitch here in Pittsburgh.
He'd gotten a knock in that time when he made the tackle. He committed the foul, but he got shaken up himself.
The college basketball season tips off Tuesday, and Nothing But Net Crews will have you covered with pregame shows leading into our games right here on ACC Network and the ESPN app. The women's show's at 4:30 Eastern, leading into #1 South Carolina and 5th-ranked NC State. That's at 5 Eastern on ESPN. The men's show's at 6:30, getting you set for Loyola, Maryland at North Carolina. That's at 7 here on ACC Network, followed by Navy and Virginia. Nobody covers the ACC. His first challenge. And Jacques Hassan causing the corner there as it's cleared out over the end line by Mcdowell.
Very quick, good one-on-one. He can get behind the defense, and even though he didn't get that ball across the way he wanted, it results in a corner.
Pittsburgh's 4th of the match. Alexander Dexter, the grad student from Brooklyn, coming in. That crossed by everybody. Second attempt, nothing there for Pittsburgh. And another sigh of relief moment for Virginia Tech.
They didn't get out of this half 1-1, make it even. It's a different game in the second half, and their confidence will grow. I think that the Hokies would
feel pretty good, don't you think, if that happens?
I would think so. 1-1 is a good result for Virginia Tech at halftime.
It's a place where Pitt has trailed once the entire season. It's against Duke back on October 9th, a match that Jay Vinovich told us the crowd really got into, and it was kind of the first time that he had seen them be an incredible soccer crowd, really knowing when to get on the other team and becoming a tremendous asset. Also a great promotion, 12 and under children get in free wearing a soccer jersey. Trying to grow the game here in Pittsburgh.
Doing a great job of it. It's a real sports town, Pittsburgh, as everybody knows. The Steelers and the support for the Penguins and the support for the Pirates. It's a little bit harder to do, but it's a great sports town. It's a great sports ethic here at Pittsburgh. It just never applied to soccer until Jay Vinovich came in.
The USL's Riverhounds as well in playoff position, and it is becoming a soccer town. We know the type of grit that embodies Pittsburgh, something that Jay Vinovich talked to us about is, he thinks if you put a great product out on the field, you're going to get fans. Like we've seen it today. I mean, this place is absolutely packed. Here's Dexter getting to the byline, sends it in, and nobody home on the far post. And this is the hot show in town as well, with the Steelers not playing until tomorrow. They'll host the Bears on Monday Night Football on ESPN. Walty. Dexter. Back out wide, it goes into the flank for Crivillo.
A lot of experience in those players just spoke about Dexter.
There's room for Feitos on his left, and it shoots wide.
Feitos filling in that attacking midfield role. Rodrigo Almeida out for this game. He got a great goal early on in the first game, and he's out. He's injured, and then they're relying on Feitos to pick up the slack in the attacking part of midfield.
Yeah, they are losing a lot without Almeida. 9 career goals, 9 assists, 7 of those goals coming this season. And also without Veljko Petkovic, who is a real loss not playing. This through to Dexter, but easily Martino able to get there by the end of it.
And Martino's getting more and more active coming off the line. And once a goalie gets into that rhythm, he can be very tough to beat on any shot.
Not much he could have done on the only shot that's beaten him so far by Noel. That was an absolute rocket ship off his right foot inside the 18-yard box. And just a penny in a jacket for Rodrigo Almeida. Hopefully he'll be back maybe for the semifinal, if not for a championship game or the NCAA tournament run that is inevitably coming Pitt's way.
I think if he absolutely had to play Almeida today, Jay Vinovich would, but they're hoping they can get through this game with the adjustments that they've made and have Almeida ready for the semis. You got to get there first.
Entertaining back and forth match, very different than the first time these teams met 9 days ago. There have been chances on both ends, wide open so far. Here's Paul Monels out of Spain. Tee it up for Andrew Weber. Deflected away by Dexter.
Byzantine made some substitutions.
Aí, boa tirada do Júnior. E para quem não estava entendendo o que os narradores estavam falando do Rodrigo, mostrou até ele, foi exatamente o que eu tinha falado um pouco mais cedo, que ele é o atual artilheiro de Pitt, provavelmente o jogador mais importante ofensivamente, mas pela contusão... Ó, o contra-ataque? Contra-ataque não, entregou ele atrás, né? Mas, enfim, falando justamente disso, que ele não joga hoje, provavelmente para semis ele já deve estar recuperado. Por a gente conversar antes da partida, Foi o que ele me falou também. A expectativa é essa, vai depender de como que ele vai se sentir.
Who has the goal this game for Virginia Tech, and the try just wide off the left foot of Daniel Starr.
It's nice to be unselfish, but that time Mcdowell had a chance to score, and he should have taken it. He had a great angle. It's not going to get any better. And by giving up the shot, he denies them any chance to score. He should be shooting that ball right there, instead playing and into a teammate in traffic. Mcdowell would have been well advised to take a shot.
It is a corner, though, for Virginia Tech. And dealt with now, throw coming up. There's 3.5 minutes left in this first half of action. These two teams even at 1. Part of 4 games on quarterfinal Sunday in the ACC tournament. Already Duke got by Wake Forest. Jay Bean with the winner inside of 10 minutes. And so far it has been all chalk here in the championship this year. All the home teams heading on to face the teams that got the quarterfinal byes, top 4 seeds. And Pittsburgh hosting because of it against Virginia Tech. It's been more Virginia Tech with the offensive chances here in the last couple of minutes. Possession in the offensive third has been a big part of Virginia Tech's success right now in this match. Played back to De Silva. There's that booming right foot of Ben Martino.
Now they're not overdoing it, but they're willing to take chances and willing to make some of the reluctant defenders on Pittsburgh defend a little bit. It's paying off for Virginia Tech. They're very much in this match.
Talk with both coaches after 45 minutes is up. Get their thoughts on exactly how this first half has gone. There's another trip as Pittsburgh goes down. This is Abelnati. Seen a couple of yellow cards, one for Abelnati, one for Haugley, one for each team.
A little bit of concern there from Jay Vinovich. Again, high score at halftime really favors Virginia Tech. They've been a second half team throughout the year. Most of their goals in the ACC been scored in the second stanza.
Big discrepancy. First 45 minutes and second. There's some room for Lawful's end. Weber. Beautiful tackle by Walty, the engine of this team, lone captain in midfield. Tried to find an interception, now comes from Weber. Campufano just pummels that one. That stay in bounds? No, whistle blew. There's 40 seconds left here in the first half.
It's a clean play by Walty that time. He's just a rugged guy, plays in that defensive midfield, but he will occasionally get into the attack. Very valuable player. Jay Vinovich has him as the only captain, feels that he's an extension of his personality, what he wants to get done out there in the field.
10, 9, 8, 7,
Final 10 seconds. Tick down as Campufano gives it a look and barely plays it to end the first half. We are even at 1. The top seed overall, Pittsburgh. First time they have ever been that in the ACC tournament. And this gritty Virginia Tech team, the number 8 seed, is right there along with the big dog Panthers here in this conference. Tied at halftime, Virginia Tech 6-1-1. Neither team is going to be afraid of this scoreline by any means, as we are still even through 45 minutes of play on a beautiful Sunday afternoon, now into late evening, becoming the golden hour here with daylight saving time in effect. Sun setting over Ambrose Urbanic Field.
I'm sure what Mike Brizendine has in mind for McDowell. He's probably saying, hey, you scored one. We know you can do it. Hit that ball on the target again. Don't give it up with a pass. Hit that ball. He's been dangerous, McDowell, coming out of the back. He's been probably their most effective player.
We're now joined by Pittsburgh head coach Jay Vinovich. And Jay, so far, this has been a very different match than the last time you guys saw Virginia Tech. You did get that first goal, gave up the equalizer 4 minutes later. What's your take on the first 45 minutes?
Yeah, I think the biggest difference has been just the fact that they still have 11 guys on the field. So otherwise, yeah, it's been a bit of a cat and mouse situation. I thought we got a good goal. I thought we started taking shortcuts and a little bit of lack of discipline here. But yeah.
Jay, what adjustments do you see yourself making in the second half?
I think just being more disciplined in terms of where we need to be on the pitch, how we move it, setting the tempo, and our defensive urgency.
Coach, thank you. Appreciate the time.
Thank you.
Good luck, Jay.
It's still 45 minutes left for Jay Vinovich and his top-seeded Pittsburgh Panthers to change this scoreline. Beautiful goals in this early going. Noel with the starter. McDowell equalizes 1-1. Nothing between the number 1 and 8 seed here in the ACC tournament quarterfinals.
E é isso, galera. Final de primeiro tempo, 1-1. Entrevista do treinador de Pitt. Não parecia estar muito feliz com o resultado. Ele é o treinador mais sério, mas é um dos melhores treinadores do college. Já treinou equipes profissionais, enfim, é um treinador de nível muito alto. Até foi meio duro com os entrevistadores, perguntaram qual que foi a diferença desse jogo para o jogo passado, enfim. Aí ele foi bem diretão, falou, a diferença é que dessa vez do outro lado eles têm 11 jogadores, no jogo passado eles tinham 10, então foi meio grosseirão ali, mas é isso, vamos ver como vão voltar as equipes. Júnior muito bem ali na zaga, na partida anterior mesmo tomando 4 gols, expulsão, ele já estava sendo muito seguro, é um zagueiro muito seguro lá atrás, e o Guilherme, o brasileiro da Pitt, está jogando na posição do Rodrigo, como meio ofensivo, ele costuma ser um segundo volante, chegando de trás, então está tendo que adaptar nessa forma para suprir a falta do Rodrigo, mas tá bem também, finalizou de esquerda ali, de fora da área, fez a jogada ali de linha de fundo, então ambos bem, vamos seguir acompanhando. Vou deixar rodando aqui intervalo, quando vier melhores momentos, algumas informações, eu volto para falar com vocês. Tá até sem propaganda hoje por ser da ACC, vou deixar repetindo aí porque é o que tá passando na tela, depois a gente retoma. Valeu!
It is all on the line here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. 45 minutes in the books. Nothing between the number 8 seed here in the ACC tournament, Virginia Tech, and the top seed, the favorites, Pittsburgh. Hi there again, Alex Perlman, Richard Broad with you. Well, Richard, we saw a flurry of goals in the 5th and 9th minute. Nothing since then. Both teams kind of settling into the game, aren't they?
Well, I'm really impressed with Tech. They didn't fold after that early goal by Valentin Noel. They came back with a similar goal of their own. They're very much in this game, and Jay Vinovich has got some things to worry about and be concerned with.
Yeah, there's no question, but this goal is something that Mike Brizendine was a little concerned with earlier on. I mean, look at this feed here from Bailey after the run from Jacques Hasson.
Well-timed run by Bailey. Lays the ball back, coming right straight into Noel's run. That ball may have been deflected. Martino looks like he didn't get it. Could have gone off one of the defenders, but a great effort again by Valentin Noel. That's why he's been on the Herman watch list. Back comes Tech with a chance of their own. Taking down by Labovitz. They're looking for him to shoot. He doesn't. He plays it back unselfishly. And a finish by Kyle Mcdowell gives us a tie score at halftime.
And then a flurry of chances.
Labovitz, and he's so strong. It's another chance by Labovitz. He pulls the trigger very quickly. Nice save by Campusano, and another equally good save off of Jackerson. And he does a great chance and close and doesn't quite convert.
Well, Pitt is dominating the possession so far. This is kind of what we expected, to be totally honest with you, but everything else very evenly matched, and those goals 4 minutes apart from each other. The reason we are tied 1-1 with 45 minutes down. Well, Richard, what adjustments would you make for both coaches here in the second half?
Well, one thing I'd look for possibly with Virginia Tech is bringing on Kyle Dover, who's a very athletic guy. And when they substituted for Labovitz, I thought it'd be Dover would come on. And Pittsburgh, they need to lift the game a little more precision in their passing. Vitosa's got to take over in the center of the midfield in that attacking midfield role.
Panthers have not lost here in 18 matches. It's not even like they haven't lost, though. Not like they've been unbeaten. They have won their last 18 matches. They dominate here at Ambrose Urbanic Field. And we will see in the last 45 minutes if it is going to be more of the same in that dominance from the Panthers, or if Virginia Tech is going to be able to go on the road and pull the upset. Both of these teams in line for one of the 16 national seeds. Pittsburgh was number 8 in the selection committee reveal. Virginia Tech 12. At one point, the Hokies were number 5 in the country. They fell off just a little bit at the end of the year.
Saying, Alex, quite a product that Jay Vinovich has put forward here. He's got a good crowd. Now I want to see the crowd get into this. They wouldn't be that disquiet for the Steelers game. It was tied at halftime. They wouldn't be that quiet in a hockey game. And maybe even if the Pirates would win a game or two, they might get into that. But Jay's got a crowd here. Now he's got to get them going up and give them that extra impetus at home.
All right, we count up from 45 minutes with 45 to go. Second half underway here in Pittsburgh. Hopefully we'll be able to chat with Mike Brizendine before the end of the match. Get the thoughts of the Virginia Tech coach.
Goal by Labovitz.
For now, we play on. For the Panthers, Guilherme Feitosa. Jacques Hasson. Clipped in. And no issues as Martina watches it over the line. Jacques Hasson, 3 goals and 5 of 6 assists in his last 5 home games.
He can create them by his explosiveness. He's able to get behind the defense, and they can keep doing that. They're going to be effective. It looks like Mike Brizendine's coming back on here, and maybe we will be able to grab him.
All right, so he did make it just a minute into this second half. Thankfully, Briz is able to join his team back on the pitch. Whistle. Philip Mirkovic with the trip.
See Mike Brizendine there with Pat McSorley, his longtime assistant, teammate, and best friend. It's a nice situation you have. Great coaching situation on the other side. Jay Vinovich has got two real good young coaches. Mike Behanick, former outstanding player at American, and Rich Constanzo, who had a great career both at Penn State and at the University of Maryland. These are young assistant coaches who are really valuable to a coach like Jay Vinovich, who's so thorough in every aspect of the game.
Jay Vinovich, a career record of 325, 170, and 57. In his sixth season, he's 4 games over 500 here at Pittsburgh, and he took over a team that wasn't winning at all in the ACC.
I think he had an unfair advantage, Alex, on this. He got to work under Jerry Yeagley. He got to work under Walt Chisowitz. He got to work under Jay Martin, and even became Jay Martin's brother-in-law. He's had all sorts of great background and great mentors, and he's taken a little bit from every one of them, and he's really produced a product at Wake Forest and at Pitt.
What do you want to see here from Pitt tactically at the beginning of this second half?
I want to see Feitosa get hold of the ball more. He's a good passer. He's kind of been quiet in that attacking midfield role, and most of the attack has come from, quite frankly, Jacobson, who's been dangerous getting down the flank, and Noel, who's always dangerous. Also, might like to see Lofelson get forward on the attack. He's a dangerous attacking player. He's not just a defensive player of the year because he can defend and get in the attack too. He hasn't done it as much as you'd think in the first half.
Lofelson and Jacobson really have a great partnership on that side. You see a lot of overlaps coming from Lofelson out of the right back position. Now, we have seen it from time to time, Lofelson getting forward. He's a terrific defender, but also fantastic service, most assists on this team. About off, you've got all these different languages to contend with, and different personalities coming from different cultures.
Well, he gets guys that buy into the way he approaches. Jay is very, very professional in what he does. He doesn't, not a lot of foolishness and not doing the job. He expects the job, so he gets players who will do that job, and he just orchestrates it very well.
These are players that have spent a lot of time in Europe, have played at some of the highest youth levels, and just want an American education. And not only getting that, they're getting a great soccer education as well that they can bring back overseas or to the MLS, or to MLS, that is. Crivillo. Mirkovic. Pitt okay with just settling things down before that beautiful run. Flag stays down. They beat Martino for a moment. Second try, deflected again. It's still alive, and now Martino puts his hands on top of it. Wow, some real chaos in the 6-yard box.
That's a flurry in front of the net. Everybody get involved. This guy, Matt Bailey, with a great pass, leading the player into Valentin Noel. He tries to chip it. It's over. Martino, he gets back and makes the play. And once more, ball's denied. Finally, Martino comes up with it at the player's foot.
So that was much more of the slow build from Pittsburgh that we have seen time and time again. They can play fast, or they can play that possession-style game and wear you down. Noel used his physicality to get around the defender, Nicola. And now here is Feitosa trying to hold up play. Instead, the line cleared all the way back. We were mentioning MLS just a moment ago for Virginia Tech. They had the ACC Midfielder of the Year last year, Danny Pereira, who was the #1 overall pick in the Major League Soccer Super Draft to Austin FC. made 19 starts, 25 caps, and assists in his inaugural season. And Mike Brizendine told us that what having the number 1 overall pick did was that it opened up the player pool immensely. Anybody that he called would pick up the phone, and he got more attention there from people than any of his team success just by having Danny Pereira go number 1 overall.
Probably thinking, wish we still had that guy there right now. And the game's getting a lot more physical, as you can expect it would be. That's a foul, and I'm pretty sure that, who was it? Was Vinovich commit the foul? It's got to be a card for that.
No, we did not see the referee, Nikola Alexic, go into his pocket.
Surprising.
So it's just a common foul there as Abelnadi went down. There he is on the ball again. Offelson. Ordonez. Push it back now. This is Mirkovic looking up ahead.
First part of this
Offensive
half,
third.
Jade Vinovich's team playing much more aggressively, asserting themselves, trying to get forward. They need that better pass in the attacking third. Matt Bailey supplied it just a while ago, but not enough balls played in by people like Fatosa and Waldy and Mirkovic from the midfield to set these forwards free.
Possession certainly dominated in this second half of play by Pitt. Virginia Tech okay with just laying back a bit more. Defending this surgent Pitt attack. Here's Labovitz, though. Taken away. There's a handball. Has to be. The advantage is played. Now intercepted. Walty.
This is what Tech has to do. They've got to get a hold of the ball more. They can't let the possession to be higher than 60%. I think it was 58-42 at halftime. Tech needs the ball more, and they're getting worn out. And the defense, as good as it is, they just can't hold up to constant pressure for the next 40 minutes.
Yeah, Mike Brizendine told us in the lead up to this match that he wanted to make Pitt defend. And right now, it's been Virginia Tech on its heels since the start of the second half. Tech has been right there defensively, though. Blacklock picks out the run of Flores. Got past Campufano, but Lawful's was right there. Line not cleared yet, though. It's finally sent away by Jacquesson. Bit of a dangerous moment right there for Virginia Tech. And now here's Kyle McDowell, who has the goal for the Hokies.
It's clear that Tom Barrett is really attacking that ball with its head.
Here's Bailey. He has the assist for Pitt on the Noel goal. And there is Noel. Mac Hermann Trophy finalist last year, scored 14 goals, second most in the nation. Junior out of France has been so important to Pitt in this turnaround. Here's some room for Fatosa, looking to thread it through for Noel.
Fine reading of the game by Junior that time. He comes out and gets fouled by Walty. Good, solid defense that time by Junior. Wellington De Silva Jr.
Sophomore from Brazil making his 18th straight start, number 5 in black. Now player down is Haugley on that yellow card. One of the captains along with Wellington. That's going to bring the training staff out.
You don't want to lose that fella. He gives you a lot of grit in the middle of the park. He's good in the air, and he looks like he's really done something. And you can see his knee is cut. I think it's got to be something more serious than that if Mike Brizendine's walking on the field to check in.
His 70th career start as Haugley shakes his head and gets helped back up to his feet. Tough guy. Haugley, such a force,
we can get a
too.
report on it, but they can't afford to have that guy on the bench. Nothing there. That ball's taken out by Junior. He does a good
Just
job running
limping a little
forward
bit
until he
there
gets
from the
taken
back
down.
line.
You can tell what happened to Siebert Hogley. I have no idea. Training staff's there. He came out in the first half and may have gotten just a severe cut. That sock, the left sock is cut. So that could have something to it. Not major, he can come back on.
And so that is a huge loss, though. Hogley standing in at 6'5", 200, imposing presence in the air. And with his feet as well. And now it's going to be Weber coming in just at 5'9". You lose a lot of size there on the back line.
Flight balls into the 5'9", placement for the 6'5" guy.
Lennon gets to the byline, clips it in. And there was confusion there. Labovitz was looking at his teammate. I thought Labovitz was going to put it on himself.
Usually he does, and that's really a mystery. That was a great run by Lennon, a great service that time. And 2 or 3 guys on the Tech team had a chance, including that man who doesn't pass too many of them up.
And so I'm sure a bit of shock on the Virginia Tech technical area as well. Here in the 57th minute, still evened up at 1-1 if you're just joining us. Valentin Noel started the scoring in the 5th minute with a bang, just an absolute rocket one-timer. And then Mcdowell in the 9th evened things up. Alex Perlman, Richard Broad with you here from Ambrose Urbanic Field. Quarterfinal Sunday in the ACC tournament. A spot in the semis is on the line. Just too far in front of Bailey in the back pass that time by Cameron Joyce. Barely cleared away.
Sloppy play there that time. Bailey coming forward. He's been a real spark plug. He provides that grit, that physicality that some of the other players don't have. He played at UMBC under Pete Caringi and Anthony Adams, and he was a good member of that team. He's a graduate student here now, and he gives you that little bit of an edge in the attack.
Pittsburgh has a really solid mix of technicality, composition, grit. We've got guys you talked about, Bailey and Walty, who really bring that sort of energy. And then Feitosa and Rodrigo Almeida, who we're not going to see today because of injury, but, you know, Petkovic, Jacquesson, Noel, and they all bring a terrific technical ability, a high level of class for the men's college game.
To line up of all stars, really, Alex. And as you said before, very accurately, Jay Vinovich's job is to blend these people from so many different backgrounds, and he does a great job of that.
Lawfulsen clears it, but not too far past the 18. Headed on. Does the flag stay down? Yes, it does. Sent across the goal mouth and cleared away. Nick Blacklock made it tough for the back line of Pittsburgh.
I thought Blacklock was offside, but once he got in, he just missed the shot. This is not a good effort by Blacklock. He's a good creator, not as much of a scoring threat as he should be. He is on sides and really does make a mess of that shot.
And so long throw now here for Labovitz.
You can see that these restarts are starting to cause trouble.
And now Billy. Space to operate on the wing. It's 4-on-1 though. He's got to run from Noel to his right if he can use it. Instead, tried to test Martino. And no problem there for the freshman keeper.
And that's a great run, recovery run by Wellington Da Silva Jr. Jr. went all the way from the opposing box back into his own box to not block the shot, but just to make sure that Bailey didn't get it off as much as he can. Look at Jr. still running, putting the pressure on, and he's there when Bailey goes to shoot. Good effort by Bailey, but it's a long way to run with that ball.
Oh, legal demais ele apontar essa recuperação do Júnior. Realmente, ele subiu para o escanteio, tentou dar uma pressão inicial na transição defensiva quando eles perderam a bola, só que acharam espaço nas costas dele, do lateral, e ele voltou no gás para atrapalhar a finalização lá na frente. Então o narrador estava exaltando isso. Realmente, o Júnior é um cara muito voluntarioso com a equipe. Outra partida muito boa dele.
tell Richard who
E
got
de
it
novo,
first.
jogo mesmo padrão do primeiro tempo, Pitt tentando
That's why
achar
Bailey's
espaços e
pointing out
Virginia Tech tentando
hey, he's the
espetar
guy that committed the foul, not
contra-ataque
me.
e bola parada na
Bailey
área.
needs to walk
Mas, gente,
away and not
continua 1 a
cause any
1,
problems
e
in
lembrando
this.
que se acabar 1 a 1 no tempo regulamentar, a gente tem o overtime padrão, 2 tempos de 10 minutos, e se continuar empatado no overtime, tem pênaltis para ver quem que vai seguir para a semifinal.
Mike Brisendine's club.
Especially in the midfield, Alex, because they've already lost Hogley, who's playing the defensive midfield, and it looks like Flores is going to have to come out. He's been their primary attacker from the midfield, so they're running out of able bodies on the Tech sideline.
On the left side of the center mid in the 4-1-4-1. Last time these two teams met, though, it was hard to stay healthy. Valentin Noel, you see, getting that knock on the knee, and that was a huge loss for them. But he is playing today. This is worse, though, because Rodrigo Almeida went down limping, and he did not come back and is not playing today. Connor Pugh got a big knock. I mean, look at that. Tough guy, but he is back in today's game as well. I mean, that's gruesome. And he is a tough dude out there, Richard. If I got a knock like that, I don't know if I'm coming back.
I want no part of Connor Pugh. He is one tough dude. Yes, he is.
Mostrou a contusão do Rodrigo e mostrou ele ali no banco dando uma aquecidinha leve ainda no Miguel.
They found out about him because they played Coastal Carolina. Virginia Tech coach Mike Brisendine saw him and was like, I want this guy. And once he went in the transfer portal, it was easy from there.
Mata-mata, enfim, tudo pode acontecer aí. Pode ser que precise de um atacante, um meio-campo. Ali faltando 5 minutos para pressão final, abafo final, pode ser que ele entre.
He's done a real good job putting this together at Virginia Tech. Last 6 years, he's had excellent teams.
Virginia Tech on the roll now. Here's Lennon up the wing. Gets past the 2v1, but not that far. Ordonez has it. Taken back by Virginia Tech. Flag went up. That was Pugh making the run. Got it to his left foot.
Aggressiveness.
So still 1-1. About a half hour to go in regulation in Pittsburgh. Number 8 seed Virginia Tech giving the Panthers all that they could want, and then maybe even a little bit more. It's not been a comfortable match at all for Jay Vinovich. It just goes to show you that this is what Mike Brisendine, Richard, told us. Before this match, he said, we're not changing anything with our game plan. It was good. Through the first 23 minutes, we even had the better of the run of play at times, and then the red card to Haugley changes the match. But you can tell that the plan is good and that there's really nothing else the coaching staff needs to do at this point.
Got to rely on that bench, people coming off the bench to do the job. That's why you have depth and why Virginia Tech has been successful. They've had enough people. And when they have injuries, they may lose a little bit, but they're still in the match with quality players. These two coaches, very similar background, both exposed to excellent mentors. We mentioned Jay Vinovich. Mike Brisendine had the opportunity to play for Tom Martin, a really outstanding coach at JMU, and he also worked under Oliver Weiss, who built a real power for a short period of time here at Tech. So both these coaches have learned from good people, and they've applied the lessons to their own success.
Noel switches field. Loffelson getting forward out of his right back position. Splits a couple of defenders. Good ball in, but it was just past the run of Noel.
Really good ball in by Loffelson that time. And Noel just couldn't slow it down right enough. This is a great run. He gets inside, looking for Noel. It goes off his foot. Just that quality first touch wasn't there.
Yeah, touch just failed
getting
him.
much more into the attack in the second half.
Teams pushing for the go-ahead goal and potentially the decisive one to send one of these teams to the semifinals. Virginia Tech has been there just one other time in program history back in 2007 out of 15 appearances, one semifinal. Pitt was in the final last year before falling to Clemson 2-1. Loffelson goes down and earns the whistle. Time's going to stop here as he is absolutely run over. Loffelsen's going to go down to his seat. And Andrew Weber is going to draw the yellow. And he goes into the book.
This is a foul, but I think maybe a yellow is a bit harsh. Loffelsen getting inside. And yeah, there was no malice or anything, and he might have fallen on him and caused more damage than anything else. I think it was a little bit quick and a little bit harsh. Give a card to Weber that time.
And so set piece coming up for the Panthers. 2 yellows for Virginia Tech. Haugley and Weber picking those up. Abelnati, the only Pitt player to go into the book. Nikola Alexic, as this match gets more and more physical towards the end, trying to keep things under control. Headed back, that's going to be a corner.
Gone off, might have gone off. Lipovich is back in for defense. They bring him back to defend corners. It's a really good ball laid up by Markovic. And it goes off the head of, sure it goes up, but it is a Virginia Tech head. Goes off the head of maybe Mcdowell, and resulting in a corner.
Yeah, I think Nicola was the one that got his head on that one, the junior from San Diego, number 26. And
I think
corner coming up.
With you, Alex. I think that he was.
Alexander Dexter for Jacquesson. Dexter, grad student, third team All ACC last year. Maybe he can be the difference.
That graduate student experience, a lot of graduate students staying for that last year under this circumstance.
Mirkovic headed just wide. Ordonez got his head on it for Pitt.
Signs of fatigue on both teams in defending these corners, letting people go free and giving them chances at goal.
Our next All Access, the ACC Live, premieres tomorrow. It features Boston College field hockey, Florida State women's soccer, and Wake Forest men's soccer. You'll get unprecedented access into the lives of these student athletes, coaches, staff, parents, and fans at 7 Eastern, right here on ACC Network and the ESPN app. One app, one tap. Wake Forest season coming to a close in the first of the 4 quarterfinal matches here on ACC Network. Duke able to hold serve at home. And the winner by Jay Bean in the 67th minute, taking them out.
This is Dexter. Just came on the game and he gets tripped by Danny Flores. And another opportunity for a restart. And Pitt is very good on these restarts, too. They've got a very accurate service.
This is Mirkovic. Far post. Does not challenge Ben Martino.
That's what Martino has to do. He has to take control of the box. He's had a good game thus far. He's going to have to come up big in the next 20 minutes or so to keep the score even.
Pitt out shooting Virginia Tech 4-0 here in the second half. It really has been dominated by the Panthers. Hokies holding on, though, in defense. Abelnati right there to usher it out of bounds, but just as far as a corner for Virginia Tech for the Hokies. It is their 4th. Blacklock. Mcdowell, who has the goal for Virginia Tech. Long service into the far side. Noel got to it. Dexter shoved down by Blacklock.
Just came in the game and he's had full share of physicality already. Welcome to the ACC quarterfinal, Mr. Dexter.
Dexter has drawn 2 fouls in the last 2 minutes or so. Providing a spark off the bench. Player that was born in Brooklyn but spent time in Germany in his childhood before coming to Pitt. And some of that German academy experience as well. It's a long trip, Brooklyn to Germany. Given away, Walty. It's going to end up in the feet of Loffelsen. Pitt probing that Virginia Tech back line for the decisive goal. Loffelsen could provide it here. Second try, deflected around a few times. And the line cleared. Dexter was right in the area, but Joyce got his feet to it.
Aproveitar que eu tive que entrar aqui para bloquear o cara que tava mandando uns vírus, para lembrar que deixar o like aqui embaixo na transmissão, até para aparecer para mais gente. Tem muitos parentes do Júnior, do Guilherme, do Rodrigo, do Lucas, para aparecer os atletas brasileiros jogando para mais gente. Lembra de clicar aqui embaixo, se inscrever no canal também, que a partir de agora a gente vai ter muito playoff. Quarta-feira a gente tem o CF contra Memphis, brasileiro dos dois lados, a gente deve transmitir. Marshall entrando em playoffs também, vamos tentar transmitir o jogo deles. Então, lembra de clicar no like aqui e inscrever no canal.
Goes on, Jay Vinovich has to be more and more worried. The longer it stays 1-1, the better chance that a team like Tech can grab a goal. And again, we mentioned Labovitz was such an opportunistic player. Always a threat when you have a player like that who can score goals.
And if Pittsburgh wins, they will host the winner of Notre Dame and Louisville right here on Wednesday night. Virginia Tech will have to await their fate and see where they're going if they're able to pull the upset. One mistake could be the difference, or one great individual play like that one from Walty. But the first touch of Feitosa lets him down. Now here's Mirkovic, sing it back out wide. Loffelsen crosses in, headed away by De Silva. Walty refires. Mirkovic. Back it goes to Crivillo. Here's some space for Feitosa. Feitosa. Easily dealt with by Virginia Tech. Not cleared though. Feitosa again. And Loffelsen can reset. Look at this. Pitt death by 1,000 paper cuts type offense in the attacking third. Clipped in, headed on. That one by De Silva, taken away. Mirkovic right into the arms of Martino.
Mirkovic can really sting a ball, and he showed you why he's so dangerous. Right out there at the top of the box.
O goleirão da Virgínia até que tá bom, e sempre a galera tá lembrando que ele é freshman. É muito raro um goleiro ser freshman já titular, importante, experiência. E o Rodrigo perguntou que a idade dos brasileiros, cara, eu não sei exatamente de todos, mas eu acredito que o Rodrigo tenha 21, 20 anos, o Júnior é um pouco mais novo, acredito que tem 19, 18, e o Guilherme também é freshman, deve ser mais novo, deve estar com 18 por aí também, mas tudo nessa faixa aí de idade.
Peppering Ben Martino, who's made 5 saves, some of them spectacular to keep this a 1-1 match. Well, Nilton. Another shove down by Will Nilton. This time the referee says play on.
Away with one there, I think.
Campufano off his line.
Probably the way that Tech's can score. Counterattack, get all the players forward from the other team, invite them forward, and then go quickly on the counterattack. Again, Labovitz has not produced a goal. He's had an assist today. He's on the field. You've got to be honest and be careful to mark him.
I think the possession was something like 58-42 Pitt in the first half. I would venture to say it is much more than that, dominated by the Panthers, though they don't have a goal to show for it yet. Feitosa threads it through for Alexander. Takes a deflection. Bailey! No, not this time. And warded out by Cameron Joyce. Survival at the moment for this Virginia Tech back line.
Aí, realmente agora deve ser ataque contra a defesa e Virginia espetando essa bola. Agora o goleiro ele quase saiu errado e o jogo vai ser esse Pitt rodando a bola na frente até achar o espaço. Mas é isso, continuando empatando, overtime, continuando empatando,
20 minutes remaining now.
Penalties, mais 20 minutos ainda
Bailey and Pitt to get the game winner and for the favorite to move on. Virginia Tech just hanging around. They are starting to believe. You could argue they've believed all match, though. Noel. Defended by Nicola, getting his second start. Shepherded out of bounds, and this will head back for a Pitt throw-in.
What a story Chris Nicola is. 3 times he suffered ACL injuries and had to have surgery. Stayed in. He's done a nice job in the back today.
Alexander. Little shove down, no call, and De Silva will clear the line. Nicola, high school junior, he tore his ACL, then took a gap year because he had kind of lost all his offers, unfortunately. Did really well in the U.S. under-20 camp. He started to get more looks from other schools, and then he tore it again. Walked on his last scrimmage of freshman year. What happens? Another ACL. I mean, the fact that he's still on the field is a huge testament to that young man and his resilience. I think a lot of people would have called it quits at that point, but Mike Brizendine kind of took a chance on him, and he has rewarded his coach. You know the talent's there when healthy. Crivello centered back to Feitosa, who opens up some room. That's closed down, though, by Kyle McDowell. Play still going on, and touched out of bounds by Lennon.
Great play by Lennon, who's more an attacking style player. Boy, the possession and the territorial advantage is clearly accumulating for Pitt. It probably could have been a foul on Feitosa before he ran in there. It looked like he had taken down Kyle McDowell in the box.
Feitosa in fine goal scoring and assisting form recently. Does he find the winner? Corner for Pitt is a low one. Ordonez ran into his own man. Walty! That was almost a spectacular go-ahead goal from the captain.
Almost like that's the way you have to get the goal, isn't it? He just had to do something and to beat Martino, and he hasn't yet done it. Just, they can't put much more pressure on than they've been doing. The spectacular play by Walty, and I think Martino gets a hand on that and knocks it wide.
Quase golaço da Pitt, mas só para falar um pouco agora, principalmente para quem está no processo de ir para os Estados Unidos, ele contou a história desse zagueiro que entrou, número 26, da Virginia Tech. Ele falou que ele era um dos melhores zagueiros do high school na época dele, estava com várias propostas. No último ano dele de high school, ele rompeu o ACL. O ACL é o ligamento cruzado, se eu não me engano. E todo mundo tirou as propostas que tinha para ele, porque tinha machucado algo sério. Ele tirou um gap year para recuperar, foi convocado para a seleção sub-20 dos Estados Unidos, o camp, né? Não era equipe de competição, é um camp que eles treinam com a seleção sub-20. Ele foi bem, teve outras propostas, inclusive Virginia Tech, e no camp ele rompeu o ACL de novo. Foi para Virginia Tech, enfim, recuperou. No freshman season dele, primeira partida que ele entrou para jogar, rompeu o ACL, então rompeu ligamento 3 vezes nos últimos, 2, 3 anos, e agora tá voltando de novo. Então, história maluca. Só dele estar no campo já é uma vitória aí, porque provavelmente é um cara que já poderia ter desistido várias vezes. Então, para quem tá nessa aí de querer ir para os Estados Unidos, desanima, anima, enfim, seja constante, acredite, faça o que tem que ser feito. Não sei nem se foi ele agora que machucou de novo, não, é o 26. Mas, enfim, uma história legal de superação aí.
Get the blood away, and now Bailey is going to head off as well.
He didn't want to come out. That guy's a gamer. He just wants to play and just get about and do it.
Bailey's not afraid of a little contact. We know that much, but clock stopped with 74 minutes in. Both of those players are going to get just a little bit of help there from
right
the
there
line.
Behind McDowell. It's an important part of their defense gone out right there. This is Bailey gone up, and then they cannot collide and knock heads.
This matchup is becoming a war of attrition, not only
a lot more physical
tonight's game, but when you talk about 9 days ago when these two teams met, and you saw the blood right there immediately start for Bailey. And we talked about the injuries, Almeida going out, Noel for Pittsburgh last time. For Virginia Tech, Haugley was sent off. Connor Pugh taking a knock and drawing blood last time. Landon Amaris will check in now for Virginia Tech. Just a quarter hour remaining, and this game is very much still in the balance. Jacques Song will be the one subbing in for Baylor. And are we going to have another caution? The clock was stopped. Nope. Referee says play on. It's been a tough job, I think, at this point for Nikola Alexic, trying to keep this game in check. He's done a pretty decent job, honestly.
I would concur with that, Alex. I think he's done a very good job controlling it. There's been physical play. There have been some injuries, but nothing's gotten out of hand.
Noel shoved off the ball. Redonia's back to Walty, and now they can reset. Here's Loffelzund. Noel. Chipped on for Feitosa. First touch let him down, and the line cleared. So one game is already in the books here on quarterfinal Sunday. Duke able to take down Wake Forest. Coming up right when we are done, Louisville and Notre Dame here on ACC Network. That should be one of the more competitive quarterfinals. Although you look at 1-8, and it's the biggest discrepancy between all the games. It's 1-8, 2-7, 3-6, 4-5. And Richard, this has been maybe the most competitive that we're going to see.
Alex, you could play him almost any way. You could put the number 1 seed against the number 13 seed. All the teams, 5 teams have been eliminated, and a 6th team in Wake Forest. Any one of those teams could knock off the number 1 seed Pitt. It is a fine team, but they're not that big a difference between any of these clubs in this conference. That's why it's the best conference in the country.
You know, another player goes down. Feitosa. And Noel is pleading his case with the referee. Chris Nicola's going to get a yellow card here.
You're looking, this is a clear foul. There's no question. Nicola goes in and just grabs him in the back and hits him in the back of the legs. That was really dangerous, what he did that time. I don't think it was malice intent, but it's a very, very physical foul, and he deserves a card for it.
Yeah, especially with Feitosa there, you know, with his legs planted. That could have gone really wrong. Luckily, he's still in the game. Mirkovic tried to stun her.
Can really hit a ball. I see why Jay Vinovich considers him so important to their success.
It's been a long time since we've seen the ball in the back of the net here for either team. Valentin Noel got the scoring started in minute number 5, and 4 minutes later, Mcdowell poured in equalizer for Virginia Tech. And Richard, you were exactly right. You've seen a lot of soccer. Sometimes, you know, you see those early goals and then both teams settle into a match, and that's what we're witnessing down here. There's been nothing since then, really. A lot of chances.
Alex, you're so right. That's the kind of rhythm you can have. You can get those 2 goals early, and then you think, wow, this is going to be a high-scoring affair, and you get a 1-1 deadlock like this.
Let's see, how does Virginia Tech try to open up this Pitt defense? This is much better. Has a long run to the side if they can pick out the pass. Here's Paul Monels. Monels cuts it back to the left, opens some space, and it's off the crossbar. What a shot by Monels, almost giving Virginia Tech the lead, inches away.
É, e a história do jogo realmente é essa. Pitt ficando com a bola, mas quando Virginia Tech espeta, tá chegando com muito perigo. Então, bola na trave. E respondendo aqui o Pedro, deixa eu até botar na tela, é o que eu falei várias vezes. Se acabar empatado, é overtime normal, 2 tempos de 10 minutos, com gol de ouro. Se continuar empatado no overtime, nos 2 tempos, aí tem pênaltis depois.
Here's better build up out of the back. Flicked on the run. And can't get on the end of it.
Take a look at this. This again, Monell's coming. He's got a great left foot. And Campusano is just nowhere near that. And that was so close. Here it is again. Campusano doesn't get anywhere near that ball. I thought it was in when he let it go.
Monell's out of Barcelona. Transfer in from South Carolina, upstate. Almost got the upset. 11 minutes to go. Here's Abelnadi. Waning moments of regulation here at Ambrose Urbanic Field. Alex Perlman, former George Mason head coach. Richard Broad with you. So delighted to be along for this match that has just been incredible. There's really no other way to say it. It's exceeded all our expectations. Absolutely right.
Exactly.
Loffelson cuts it back, looking for his left foot. Instead, threads it over to Alexander. This one deflected by Martino, and the line cleared by Virginia Tech. Feitosa spinning, dancing. Monels, Flores, dispossessed, but a whistle.
Take a look at this again. This is a great run inside by Loffelson. He's looking for a teammate. He gives it off finally at the end to Dexter. And too many bodies between him and the ball. Nice save, though, by Martino to see this through the traffic.
Martino has been nothing short of excellent so far.
He's had to be. He's been really challenged.
6 huge saves, Richard.
Had to play a big game. That's why Mike Brizendine is so high on him.
Clendon. This goes over to Andrew Weber on the wing. Dexter got on the pass. 9 minutes remaining in regulation in the Steel City. 1-1 between the number 1 seed and the number 8. Virginia Tech trying to go to its second ACC tournament semifinal. Have to stave off this attack here by Mirkovic. Martino off his line to make the save, stunning Noel. Back it goes to the middle of the pitch, headed forward, Mirkovic. Nicola, shoved down by Dexter.
Looking again, here's another attempt on goal, and this is Valentin Noel trying to get the shot off. Great angle play by Martino coming out to make the save. And you look at this now, and you made the comment before, Alex, that Nico Campufano hasn't been involved. That's the toughest game for a goalkeeper. He's not handling the ball. On the other hand, Martino's very much engaged in the action. He's getting on a roll, and he's looking better and better as the game goes along.
The college basketball season tips off Tuesday. Nothing but Net Crews will have you covered with pregame shows leading into our games right here on ACC Network and the ESPN app. The women's show begins at 4:30 Eastern, leading into number 1 South Carolina and 5th-ranked NC State. That's at 5 Eastern on ESPN. The men's show's at 6:30, getting you set for Loyola, Maryland, North Carolina at 7, followed by Navy and Virginia on ACC Network. Nobody covers the ACC like we do. Basketball season just ramping up. Soccer season at the pinnacle of excitement here in the ACC tournament. These fans from Pittsburgh that have shown out in droves to Ambrose Urbanic Field, willing the Panthers to a potential game winner as that crossed the end line. And what an atmosphere it has been. This is what Jay Vinovich has wanted to see ever since he took the job 6 seasons ago, for Pittsburgh to become a soccer town. And they are well on their way.
Well, Alex, he's wanted this kind of atmosphere, but I don't think he wants this kind of game. Boy, Tech has given him everything that they could want, and they've been very dangerous. And again, I don't think Pitt has taken this game for granted, but Virginia Tech's really raised it to a high level, and Jay Vinovich has to be worried. The longer this game goes on, the better chance for Tech to steal a goal.
And you just have to wonder if that red card was not assessed to Sievert Haugli 9 days ago, what that match could have ended up like. We could have had a very similar experience, and this has been just awesome. This is some of the best that men's college soccer can be right here.
You're right, Alex. We've had a little bit of everything. Some great goalkeeping, some great shot making, some excellent playmaking, some good defense. This has been an outstanding game.
Monell's was the one that just hit that howitzer off the crossbar a few minutes ago that came dangerously close for Pitt to being down 2-1. There's not much time remaining. Remember, in college soccer, once it gets to 90 on the clock, that is it. There's no stoppage time, and we would move to overtime. Golden goal. 2 potential overtime periods of 10 minutes. But we are not quite there yet. We may have a late winner in us, as Pitt and Virginia Tech both push. Neither team really sitting back and just playing for the extra period.
Many ways, these competitions are just wars of attrition. Who has the most players left, and who doesn't have injuries, and how fit can we be? And sometimes there's just an unsung hero coming out and getting the winning goal.
And that was not enough to draw a stoppage of play from the referee, and Pitt continues on the attack. Noel warding off Flores, and this time he'll get the call. Free kick, Panthers. And Noel spins down Flores. He's got to be careful.
I think Flores was a little bit dramatic about that, getting thrown down. Again, you've got to be careful, absolutely. But Flores had made quite a show of that. And they get tangled. Flores trying to get the ball and working hard against Valentin Noel. And just, again, Noel tries to get to the ball, and he shouldn't have put his hands on him that way, but Flores really made that into much more than it was.
Certainly maybe a little more deserving of an Emmy than a card. And Mirkovic will tee it up. Reminder, if you're looking for Notre Dame and Louisville, that game is starting right now on ACC Network Extra. We'll get you there as soon as we're done, but Mirkovic teeing up this free kick for the Panthers. Sends it far post, headed wide, and Martino just let it go by. No problem there. But it is going to be a corner for the Panthers with 4 minutes to go.
Ball's driven in, and it's a great effort. Looked to me like there's a clear foul in the beginning.
I still thought maybe it went off of
Crevilla. Corner out of it.
But it is going to be a corner to Pittsburgh. This one to the far side and topped over the bar by Crevilla.
Very good player.
Yellow card
air,
was.
I think it was Crevilla just made that foul earlier.
Yeah. One for Pittsburgh, and now 4 yellows. 3 of them in the second half here for the Hokies as Mike Brizendine looks on. Tense moments. Trying to knock off Pittsburgh on their home field for the first time in the last 19 games. You win here, it's a national story. You got everybody watching. Noel. This time, Nicola once again up to the challenge. It's got over everybody. Labovitz trying to run it down. And Donez watchful as he passes it back to the keeper.
Donez rock solid defensively, not going to let Labovitz sneak in for that breakaway chance.
Whoever takes this match will play the winner of Notre Dame and Louisville. Finals on the line here in Pittsburgh. Just 2 minutes and 15 seconds to go. Not a great clearance this time. Virginia Tech does take care of it there on the boot by Flores. Campufano. Build it out. We'll start with Abelnadi in the center back. Got past, but Nilton there easily. Lawful's in. Takes it away. Here's some space. Slipped. And it comes down to the left foot of De Silva. Push on Lawfulson. Play on, says the referee. Well, Nilton just trying to get out of a scrum of 3 white jerseys, and now play's going to be stopped. Lawfulson's down. And Pitt can ill afford
que partida do Júnior, né? Toda bola que tá tocando chega em cima dele, ele tá ganhando todas na dividida, antecipando. Nessa ainda saiu. O cara botar a mão na cara, mas enfim, foi corpo mesmo. E partida absurda dele. De novo, né? Na outra partida já tinha sido o destaque. De novo tá sendo muito importante para a Virginia Tech.
Yeah, you're right. Looked like we're almost in Heinz Field. Someone going for the first down marker or for the pylon, just trying to stay on their feet as long as possible. And Lawfulson will jog it off.
Junior there has had an outstanding game. He's very steady, and he combines just with Chris Nicola, who's also played very well for the Pitt defense.
Ó, o comentarista velho aí também tá elogiando o Júnior, tá roubando meus comentários. Mas é isso. Faltando agora 1 minuto, né? Eles anunciam o último minuto. A gente vai pro overtime. Overtime, gol de ouro. Fez gol, classificou. Continua empatado, pênaltis no final.
And Campufano takes the header. Lawfulson on his horse. And he's ripped down. Advantage being played. Noel taken down himself. Free kick coming.
Foi, eu acho que o Júnior chegou forte na bola também. Não sei se eu daria essa falta não.
Really chippy now here
quando
at the
é falta
end.
nesse final, ó, você vê que ele
Noel was already dealing with an
relógio
ankle injury as well, or a foot injury that is, as well as a knee problem.
Vamos ver se vai ter alguma
Suffered
jogada
last
nisso,
game against
provavelmente vai ser o
Virginia
último
Tech, and
ataque
that's
de
what he's
Pitt,
holding right now.
acabando overtime, eles não descem pro vestiário, só um tempo ali pra conversar rápido no campo, beber água e já começa a prorrogação.
To the reigning ACC Offensive Player of the Year,
porque realmente acho que o Júnior chegou na bola, mas também o Valentim, que tinha machucado na partida passada.
Way more towards that mark of 14 that he had last year, which was second in the nation.
E ó, o Rodrigo tá ali atrás.
Clock
já botou o casaco, provavelmente não deve entrar mesmo
Just
não.
28 seconds remaining. Rodrigo Almeida looks on. He's out for this match. Almeida suffered an injury last time that these two teams played. Also out with an illness. And Noel will head to the bench here for the remaining 28 seconds. And Feitosa will check back. Tense moments as Mirkovic stands over the ball in Pittsburgh. Flicked on. Header away by Virginia Tech, and there's the clearance. This game seems destined for overtime. Does Lawfulson have one more push left in it for the Panthers? Ordonez. Flag went up on Feitosa. And we're going to overtime, Richard. 90 minutes was not enough to decide this matchup between Pitt and Virginia Tech. This is a rivalry that is brewing here between the Panthers and the Hokies, and nothing is separating these two clubs as we head to overtime. What a match. Jay Vinovich, Valentin Noel, and the Pitt Panthers, unbeaten 18 straight matches here at home, getting all that they can handle from the number 8 seed Virginia Tech. We're back after this with overtime.
Expecting someone else? Ho, ho, no. It's the holidays, and we are all about it. However you
Então é isso, galera. Prorrogação, explicando de novo para ficar bem claro, são 2 tempos de 10 minutos. Fez o gol, acabou. Não fez o gol, acabaram os 2 tempos de 10 minutos. São pênaltis. Então vamos aguardar para ver. Quem classificar passa. Acredito que pega o vencedor de Louisville e Notre Dame. Então só jogar isso daqui para frente. Vou deixar rodando aqui o intervalo, só tirei o áudio para não ter problema. E aí a gente já volta para o primeiro tempo do overtime.
In Pittsburgh in the ACC tournament quarterfinals, top seed Pitt taking on Virginia Tech. Nothing between the two after 90 minutes. All part of the ACC Soccer Championship that has already seen Duke advance to the semifinals on Wednesday by eliminating Wake Forest just before us. Louisville and Notre Dame are underway at the moment on ACC Network Extra. And we'll get you there right when we are done here between Pitt and Virginia Tech. Richard, this game has had a little bit of everything and a lot of scoring in the first 10 minutes.
First 10 minutes, a lot. It's a great effort by Matt Bailey getting behind the defense, bringing the ball back out to Valentin Noel, who finishes it. The Tech responds. Jake Levitt's coming down the flank, getting behind the defense. He finds Kyle Mcdowell. We're tied 1-1 and think we're getting a lot of scoring, but we didn't. We didn't get any scoring, but we did have some highlights and some terrific plays, some good defense. This is Merkovich taking a bomb from outside, testing. Martino comes up big on the opportunity, and then it's Waldy for the Panthers with a bicycle kick, and then substitute Paul Manell's coming off the bench and giving Virginia Tech its best chance of the half. And we look at those statistics: shots on goal, Pitt shots 19, 8 of them on goal. And I'd like to see the time of possession, but I think it increased over Tech's advantage at halftime. They're up 58-42 in possession, and I think Jay Vinovich's teams had even more possession in the second half.
So the stage is set. The winner to take on Notre Dame or Louisville. Valentin Noel, the goal scorer for Pitt, getting them on the board. You saw that terrific equalizer by Mcdowell off the outside of his foot. Good time for the first goal of the year. Actually, both goals that Virginia Tech has scored in this year's ACC tournament have been first goals of the season. The other by Jack Deary in overtime to beat BC. And we are back underway. Golden goal, sudden victory, whatever you want to call it. First team to score wins. First of a potential 2 10-minute overtime periods.
I know it's exciting to see penalty kicks and so on, but I'm I want to see it decided in the run of play. Penalty kicks to me, it's like a flip of a coin, and that's not really the game.
Virginia Tech has not lost so far this season in overtime. Richard, how does Virginia Tech treat this overtime period?
I think they treat it. I think they're going to treat it conservatively and then look for the counterattack. They just can't give too much to the opposition. There's a chance running through with Valentine Noel, and you can just only absorb so much. They need to get possession and take the pressure off their defense, because it's just one little mistake and that's all, and it's over. You want to get some chances too, because Campuzano can be beat, as we saw in that chance by Manels.
Virginia Tech dealing with some injury issues themselves. There's Haugley, who only played in 23 minutes the last time these two teams matched up 9 days ago, but that was because of a red card, not injury. This one because of a knock, and he is out, and that's a big loss. It's a lot of soccer player as well, 6'5", 200 pounds, holding down that midfield.
Like you said before, Alex, he's probably field, and just a cursed. He gets a card, he gets injured. What else can go wrong?
Here's Manels, threads it through, and Campufano down to the turf. He has not been called on all that much, keeper for Pittsburgh, but those 3 saves, very important. And Bailey is out there at number 29. Got a lot of blood on that kit, changed numbers because of it. So normally number 20, he's in the number 29 jersey. And shoved down once again. You see a lot of physical play between these two teams, and Bailey a little bit slow to get up, wearing that head wrap because he took a vicious cut on a collision with a Virginia Tech player.
A tough guy, Bailey. He really is, and he battles and fights, and he expects that kind of thing. And Chris Nicola is a very, very physical guy.
I mean, what are these teams going to have left if they get to the semifinals? Luckily, Noel is back in there. They are without Rodrigo Almeida, who has provided a team-high 7 goals with 6 assists. And Bailey has been a huge force for them in the front. Originally with the DC United Youth Program. Goal and 2 assists this season. And he'll hold up play here. Walty has some space to operate. You want to be careful you don't have a bad giveaway in the midfield and catch your defense off guard. You mentioned it, Richard. Counterattack is probably the way that Virginia Tech is going to get a goal here.
Yeah, but I noticed they've taken Labovitz out. They just maybe don't think Philly has the pace to get a counterattack goal, but I'd get him back on. He's going to be so quiet for so long and then get a great goal and change the whole thing around.
Free kick for Pitt. Next goal wins under 6 minutes to go in overtime number 1. Labovitz team high 8 goals this season.
Seeing Labovitz back on the field or not, I can't tell. Pitch on the ball. He's a very accurate server.
Another yellow card assessed, and this one's on Blacklock. And that means is that on Blacklock or Flores?
I think both of them have cards.
Sent on. Blacklock is the only one that has a card for Virginia Tech, and clearly he's not sent off.
I thought Blacklock had a card before, maybe not, and I'm not sure it was for him or whether they gave it to Flores.
Let's see how close Flores is here. Yeah, it is on Flores.
Yes.
Okay, so that's the good news, is that Virginia Tech's not down to 10 men. That would be, I wouldn't say a nail in the coffin for Mike Brizendine, but it certainly would be a very difficult potential 15 minutes coming up. of that effort by Bailey. He never stops.
Just a fiery guy. He played at UMBC in that program, contributed there. And he's really been a big part of Pitt's.
I mean, does he define this program or what? It's incredible, and the type of grit that this city relies on.
Yeah, Martino's very fortunate there. He needs to get out after that faster.
Endearing himself to the Pittsburgh faithful. They have created a tremendous home field advantage. Can Virginia Tech do something that 18 teams have tried and failed? Knock off the Panthers at Ambrose Urbanic Field. I imagine at this point for Pitt, frustration setting in as well. They didn't expect to go to overtime against Virginia Tech here on their home field, where they just knocked them off 4-1.
And they got that first goal so easily. It wasn't an easy goal, but they got it quickly, and looks like they're just going to go to town and give Tech credit. They came back with their own goal, their own answer, and they played very hard since. And I think it's a good move to put Rebabuch's back on the field. He can score almost any time.
Nicola. Joyce. Abunati made sure that didn't result in anything for Virginia Tech, even as he couldn't bring it down on first touch. Both of these teams playing for a spot in the semifinals to take on the winner of Notre Dame and Louisville. So much on the line. Jay Vinovich told us Pittsburgh winning the ACC tournament would be everything. They haven't quite done it yet. Back-to-back ACC Coastal Division champions. But this would be a real crowning achievement. 3 of the best trophies are up for grabs in the ACC every year. The regular season championship, the tournament championship, and then, of course, if you make it there as an ACC team, raising it all in the College Cup. Noel. Intercept comes. Counter for Virginia Tech. Homo Nels streaking up the wing. Send it out his way, but too far ahead of the run from the Spanish international.
Nels has been a pleasant surprise. He's gotten a few goals this year. He's an older player, gives you more experience, and he was almost a hero with that shot late in the second half.
Here's Dexter. 1v1 with Joyce. Backs him up, and now Joyce sends it out.
By Joyce.
A minute 45 to go in overtime number 1 of a potential 2. Bailey, wouldn't it be fitting if he got the game winner? Walty. Builds with Ordonez now. Little shove from Labovitz, stays on his feet. All up ahead for Bailey. It's collected by Amaris. Can Virginia Tech get it out of its own end? That's got to be mission number 1. Under a minute to go now in overtime number 1. Luis Samkow getting a spell here for Feitosa with just 48 seconds remaining. Can the freshman be the difference? Crivillo. Dexter. Half a minute left. Crivillo can't turn. Joyce. And Dexter will collect. Threaded through for Dexter. Gets past Joyce, who slipped. Dexter to the byline, centered in. And a long throw now coming up for Pittsburgh with 9 seconds to go in overtime. One last service coming here from Walty. Oh, what a save! I don't know if that was going in, but Martino had to get up and out just to get a fix.
A transmissão deu uma bagunçada aí mostrando o replay, mas enfim, quase último lance, penúltimo lance, o Júnior salvou ali embaixo e teve essa finalização. Eita, que ia lá dentro, faltando 2 segundos. Estava no segundo 2 quando o goleiro agarrou. Se entrasse, valeria e acabaria. Então agora a gente vai para o segundo tempo do overtime. Como eu falei, só troca de lado, bebe uma água bem rápido, não vai ter um intervalo muito grande. E lembrar que agora que a gente está com mais gente, clicar no like aqui até para aparecer pênaltis, chegar mais gente para assistir a decisão de pênaltis se continuar empatado. E também dá uma moral pro canal. Então se inscreve também. Quarta-feira a gente deve transmitir UCF contra Memphis, jogaço também de playoff. Então só para dar aquela moral, lembra de clicar aqui embaixo no like e no inscrever no canal. Vou soltar aqui agora a transmissão. A gente vai entrar no segundo tempo do overtime, mais 10 minutos. Se continuar empatado, pênaltis.
It seems like yesterday that the goals came in for both of these teams. Richard, it started in the 5th minute.
It's Bailey getting to the byline and bringing it back, and it's Valentin Noel sticking that ball in the back of the net, and you look like the Pitt was on the way, but Virginia Tech just keep coming, and a good run by Labowitz, and he plays it back across instead of shooting. Good unselfish play, and Kyle Mcdowell finishes.
Absolutely gritty effort by Virginia Tech to stay in this match, and huge for them to get that equalizer just 4 minutes later. Possession absolutely dominated by Pitt. We expected to see this, Richard, and for Virginia Tech, they are just still staying in this match. So we'll look at the fouls, 16-12. This has been a physical game out there, and you would imagine that the legs are exhausted at this point for both of these clubs.
They have to be. And the thing that's amazing, Alex, this is a quarterfinal game. This is not the finals or the semifinals. It's just a chance to get to the final four of the ACC. And Pitt's fans really getting into it now. And this is the atmosphere that Jay Vinovich wants.
Torcida lotada, esgotaram os ingressos. Tem até um brasileiro que tá lá, o Vitor, que joga em uma faculdade aí perto de Pitt também, que tá mandando alguns vídeos. Então, muito legal ver 100% da torcida de volta aos estádios. Por lá também, fase de National vai ficar uma loucura. Rodrigo aí também. E vamos entrar no segundo tempo do overtime. Lembrar de dar o like aqui, está 2h20, domingão transmitindo aí para vocês, pra gente poder
10 minutes mais on jogos. The clock.
Então, vou soltar 10 minutos.
We are still even
gol,
after
acabou.
That, it's penalties to decide a winner. There's Khalil Dover inserted for Virginia Tech. Richard, this is someone that you wanted to see a lot more of in this match.
Very fast, and he's going to be a problem for us tired defenders with his speed. They should put him up there with Labowitz in tandem, and I think they'd be very effective. Looks like he's more in a wing position, maybe in the midfield.
Dover, who arguably had one of the better performances after Virginia Tech went down early to Pittsburgh last time out. 9 days ago, these two teams saw each other. Dover made some great runs, was mostly the attacking threat. The Hokies were kind of out of it after they went down 3-0. Pittsburgh 1-1-1 in extra time this year. So how do the Panthers sneak one through, Richard? I mean, they've had better of the run of play throughout the match and still have not been able to score.
And they sneak it through as if Campuzano falls down, as he almost did there on that breakaway. Labowitz is very dangerous. I'd like to see them put Dover up a little bit higher, maybe with 2 strikers, put more stress on the Pitt defense. But then again, you don't want to get Pitt controlling the ball and then putting one away. But I think they'd be well advised to put Khalil Dover up alongside of Labowitz and have them both run at the defense. They've got a lot of speed, and they're tired legs on that Pitt defense now.
8 minutes to go.
Vinovich does not want to see penalty kicks. His team is dominated, and you go to penalty kicks. It's anybody's bet he's going to win.
Oh, no, I would completely agree with that. Virginia Tech has as good a shot as anybody. Lawful's in. Here's the overlap from Jacquesson, and the finish from Noel. It's a brace. Pitt is going on to the semifinals.
They didn't think they'd have to work this hard to get it, but they got 2 goals from Valentin and Noel to make the difference. And here's what they do. It's Poppleson finally getting forward and playing that ball in very nicely, and it's a tap in for Valentin Noel. Counts just as much as a 30-yard bomb, and that goal sends them on to the semifinals to play the winner of Louisville and Notre Dame.
Who else but the reigning ACC Offensive Player of the Year, finishing it off in front of the home faithful at Ambrose Urbanic Field. 19 straight wins here on the home turf for the Pittsburgh Panthers, and they're moving on to the semifinals. A chance at an ACC tournament championship is still in their grasp. What a match. Thanks so much for joining us. With Richard Broad, I'm Alex Perlman saying so long from Pittsburgh. We will send you to Notre Dame and Louisville. Jonathan Yardley, Patrick Foss, take it away.
Expecting someone else?
E é isso, o craque de Pitt, o Valentim que a gente tinha falado, tinha machucado, foi um dos melhores atletas do college do semestre passado, então merecido também pelo volume de jogo da Pitt. O jogo de Virgínia realmente era segurar e tentar, teve bola na trave, enfim. Virginia Tech está muito bem ranqueada, então só explicando regras no gerais. Bem provavelmente Virginia Tech vai estar entre um dos convidados nos Nationals, então a temporada ainda não acabou por aí, provavelmente para Virginia Tech, a gente não sabe como que vai ser. Próximo jogo agora, Pitt pega o vencedor de Louisville contra Notre Dame, também jogaço, espero que passe Louisville, que a gente vai ter um confronto ali, brasileiros dos dois lados. Na Louisville tem o Pedro Fonseca, é o brasileiro número 10, então vai ser jogaço, e a gente vai continuar acompanhando. Quarta-feira a gente deve transmitir UCF contra Memphis, também jogo com brasileiros dos dois lados. É isso, valeu aí galera, boa noite, lembra de clicar no like e inscrever para acompanhar os próximos jogos também. Bom resto de domingo, boa semana para todo mundo, obrigado, valeu, boa noite.